Hello again and welcome to Ndudu by Fafa.
Family, once again we meet. Thank you ever so much for tuning in. Okay, so today we're going to be making our cured mixed goat meat stew. What a mouthful. Anyway, basically I made my cured goat meat. Now I have covered that recipe, but I used beef instead, and I'll leave a link in the description box. So follow that same process and use goat meat instead. Now, the second thing is I'd need my normal goat meat, which of course I've already steamed in my beautiful blend of spices. Now, I have covered that spice as well. And yet again, I'll leave a link in the description box. Now, I purposely cover all these mini series or mini recipes so that they become a point of reference. Hence, it means that when you're cooking, it's just as easy as 1, 2, 3. This is the stock I derived from steaming my goat meat, and I will reserve it for another recipe because I'm going to be adding some new flavors to this bad girl. So anyway, to my oil, I've added both my cooked goat meat and also the salted goat meat. Now, the salt in the goat meat is just going to help extract all the flavors that I'm about to introduce to this. So I fried this for about 8 minutes till it started to brown. And here I'm adding some potatoes. You do not need to do so. But of course, when you add the potatoes, that means that, when you finish, instead of eating all your goat meat, you've got some potatoes to also yum on. Exactly. So I'll be mixing all of this together and fry it for about 5 minutes, just to allow the potatoes to absorb that salted goat meat flavor. At this point, I need to add some sweetness in the form of my onions. You can use any onion of your choosing, but for this particular recipe, I'm using my red onions. I'm going to gently fry this beautiful mixture for about 6 to 7 minutes, just to allow that infusion to take place. So continue to fry this mixture on that medium heat until your potatoes start to brown. Now, if this is your first time, you're welcome. Thank you very much for tuning in. And to my loyal subscribers, how you all doing? I appreciate each and every one of you. Now the potatoes looks good. So at this point, I'm going to introduce some flavors in the form of my spice blend, or may I say my goat meat blend. Yes, and I'll be adding 2 teaspoonful of this. Now I've already covered that recipe, so yes, I will leave a link in the description box so you can familiarize yourself with the flavors. So now I'm mixing everything together until it's well combined. And I just love that, the oil is almost foamy in its nature because, of course, there's that presence of moisture in that mixture I've added. At this point, I'm now going to be adding my tomato puree, yes. And I'll be frying this mixture until I have that marmalade consistency. Ndudu by Fafa, Koba Ndudu and Yukwelu, Fafa, come on, Ndudu, and Fafa. Now that I have achieved that caramelized marmalade consistency, I'm adding my blended tomatoes, yes. And of course, I'm going to be rinsing the blender because there's no waste in this kitchen. I'll be adding that to it. At this point, I'm going to allow everything to just slow cook for about 15 minutes. Now I can tell the oil is starting to settle on the surface. So I'm going to be adding a teaspoonful of my Holy Grail Blend. Yes, and that is available on buyndudu.com. I am going to slow cook this for at least 5 to 6 minutes just to allow that infusion of the Holy Grail to go through. The Holy Grail has got this beautiful clove base and aniseed base, and it's absolutely incredible, and it makes any dish incredible. So yes, do grab a box of goodies there. And at this point, I'm adding my habanero chili, and I'm adding it whole. Now, of course, if you're one that likes it spicy, you could increase the amount of habanero chili that you do use. In the absence of your habanero chili or your scotch bonnet, you can also try substituting it for cayenne pepper. Now, the next thing I'll be adding to my recipe is my rosemary. Interestingly, when I did add the dried rosemary, this point is what inspired me to create the Herby Blend. So that yes, one could use it to finish off their stew just perfectly. But the beauty about the Herby Blend is it also doubles up as one that you can enjoy as tea. So you can enjoy a cup of tea, which has a citrusy, herbaceous flavor profile. Absolutely incredible. First thing to sip on in the morning, it sets your day. Absolutely. So I'll leave a link in the description box, and I need to go back to the stew. My stew is looking good. The oil is settling on the surface just beautifully. Absolutely. And I'm not going to throw the excess oil away. I would skim it and yes, transfer it to another bowl, refrigerate it, and as and when a recipe requires an oil, I'll use that flavored oil for it. So as you can tell, I'm adding my bay leaf, and that's going to give it that aromatic flavor. Now I've got a big surprise for you, which you have to watch to the end, because you'll be like, what? I know, and trust me, you need to make it. And then you can thank me later. You're welcome. So yes, I'm just going to allow this to simmer on the lowest heat possible. As you can just tell, it's just bubbling away beautifully. Notification gang, how are you all doing? I hope you are well. Thank you all for the support, love, and affection. It's much appreciated. So, another recipe that inspired my Bolu blend, which is my dried smoked shrimp blend. Absolutely. That is what I've got here, and I'm going to be adding that to my stew, whereby the stew is almost done. So it's going to add this intense sweetness to it. Absolutely. But by the time you slow cook it for about 8 more minutes on the lowest heat possible, you get this marriage of flavors that is just like, what? Say what? And you even instantly notice that the stew even just went darker. Yes. What are you going to be enjoying this with? You can enjoy this obviously with your brown rice, your fonio, your gari, your boiled yam, your boiled plantain, your potatoes, your couscous. I mean, the choice has always and will always be yours to make. So make it a good one. And here it had to rain onions. Of course, I couldn't end the show without adding some onions to this big yote. So yes, go and grab your K&K. Or you know what? Just take the potatoes out of it and make a potato salad. Can you imagine the flavors? I think that's what I'm going to do next. Yes, I'm definitely inspired to try the recipe, and I hope you are too. Please don't forget to share with your family and friends. Yes, leave a comment or two below for me, like the video, subscribe if you haven't done so yet. Is the best way you can to support the channel. So yes, this is great, and c'est fini. Oui, the pièce de résistance. Now, naturally, I'd leave a list of ingredients and measurements on my blog, fafagilbert.com, so do check it out. I also got traditional African recipes on my other blog, Ndudu by fafa.blogspot.com, so do check it out. I'm on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and Snapchat as Ndudu by Fafa. So pass by and say hi. Noral, thank you very much for my theme song. And until my next experience with you kings and queens, please take care of you, because guess what, me, I love you for you. So, and thank you very much for watching, by the way. We love you.